Buenos dias, is it? I don't know, I can't remember. Hello. I am going to talk to you today about creating your ideal life. Often when I speak to people, I'm like, well, what do you want in your life? 9 out of 10 times people go, well, I don't want to work this, and I don't want to do that, and I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do that. People tend to know what they don't want rather than what they do want. Now, there's a lovely little exercise which I do quite often, and I learned this from my previous mentor. And often we put restrictions on what we think we can achieve in life. So there's a lovely little fantasy game called Your Ideal Life. So if you just get a piece of paper out, and what you want to do is just write down, if anything was possible in the world, money wasn't an issue, there was no holdbacks, no self-judgment or negative self-belief or anything like that. If anything was possible in this world, what would your life look like? So who would be in your bed next to you? What time would you get up in the morning? What would you have for breakfast? So this is like an ideal day. What would it look like if it could be like anything? Where would you live? What kind of house would you live in? What car would you drive? How many kids would you have if you haven't got and you do want? Anything like that. What kind of food would you eat? Would you be a vegetarian eating organic food, or do you still like your meat? When would you do your exercise? Would you have a personal trainer? Would you just do it yourself? How many hours a day would you work, etc., etc. So where would you go on holidays? Would you go on holidays with family? Would you just do it with your husband or wife? So just start writing down, just fantasize, just let it all go. And you'll be surprised that a lot of what you write down is actually achievable. But when we think of it as one big whole fantasy world, it's like, oh, that's never going to happen. So what you can do is just write it down and then start picking the little things. Or actually, it wouldn't be that much just to change to a vegetarian diet now, would it? And then maybe when you start earning a little bit more money, start changing a few of the things to the organic. And that's already one box that you've ticked. So I'm not saying that if you've chosen to live on a secluded island, Necker Island with Richard Branson, you never know, it is possible. But what I'm saying is if you don't dream big now, the goals that you go for are going to be little baby goals. Whereas if you go for goals that big, but you only get up to there, still a massive difference between the little baby goals you would have gone for and the bigger goals. So the bigger you dream, the more you will achieve. You can't not, but you've got to work for it, obviously. But what I'm trying to get across is that don't think small, don't play small, go for the big things. And I do this exercise all the time, and it's going to change. Things in your life will change. Circumstances in your life will change. Things that you want will change. You know, we used to always have an idea to go and live in Spain, but obviously now with Brexit and all of this, but not just that, I have fallen madly in love with Cyprus, and I would love to go and live in Cyprus. So things will change along your path. So I would say do this little exercise like every 90 days. Because you'll also notice how far you've come in your little chunks. So we try and work in 3-month chunks, 90-day goals. And I have my 90-day, I have my 6-month goal, and I have my 12-month goal on my fridge. So I have 3 main focuses on each of them, and that's what I focus in the 90 days. But so, you know, if you want a massive house, it's like, okay, so what your brain's also going to start doing is thinking, well, how can I get that house? So rather than just slamming that idea down, it's like, oh, I'd like a 4-bedroom house with a big garden. Okay, so I have a 3-bedroom house now. Maybe I could sell that and take that, because I'm nearly finished paying my mortgage off, and that would buy me a bigger house. Or maybe I can rent a bigger house because I don't want to own another house. So when you start putting these ideas out, the universe is going to start bringing creative ideas back to you, suggestions, recommendations, opportunities. So your brain will already start thinking, okay, how can I achieve that? How can I get that? A nice little exercise to do, because sometimes, like I said at the beginning of the video, is some people don't actually know what they want. So a good little exercise is get a sheet of paper. On your left hand side, you are going to write down everything you don't want. I don't want to work weekends, don't want to work nights, don't want to work with miserable people, don't want to work whatever for less than so much money per hour. I don't want to live where I am. And then on the other side, obviously that's going to be what you do want. So I don't want to work weekends. Okay, so I want to work Monday to Friday. Actually, I want to have a long weekend. I'm going to work Monday to Thursday. I don't want to work evenings. Okay, so I'm going to work from 10 till 4. That's going to be my working day. And that is how you flip it on your head. And then you'll actually see, oh, this is what I want. And then actually you might look at it and say, actually I don't want to work Mondays either, so I'm going to scrap Mondays. And that's what I do. I don't work Mondays or Fridays, but I work my backside off on Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays. And then like sometimes on the weekends or whatever. So it is achievable, but we need to have an action plan. And we can't have an action plan if you don't know what it is that you want. So this is just a short video on a little bit of goal setting, but let your mind run wild. There's just pretend there's no limitations. Money's not an issue. And yeah, you might come up with some crazy stuff like you want to live in the pixie land or fairy land or whatever. Have fun with it. Let's try not to take life so seriously, because there's lots of other serious things going on in the world. But let's just try and be a little bit more playful with our imagination. And you will be pleasantly surprised at what is achievable, and even you'll look at that thinking, actually, I can do that. Why am I holding myself back? It just puts a pen to paper so that you can actually see it in front of your eyes. So that is your ideal life. And I hope you'll have fun doing that. So if you want to share your ideal life with me, please do. And you can just email me info@elitepilatesteachertraining.co.uk and subscribe to the channel, because we're going to put lots more videos on here. And if you want to know anything else about our teacher training course or coaching, it is at www.elitepilatesteachertraining.co.uk. And I'll catch you soon. Bye.